planetariums. I'm a target of gang stalking. Also, remote neural monitoring, what's going on towards me in San Diego, California, is a result of being a target of gang stalking. Anywhere I go along my routes, and this additionally includes the transportation routes, walking, public transportation, or bicycle that I use to get there. Gang stalking. If you're a gang stalking target, you can be picked for multiple reasons and multiple aspirations behind the reason why you were targeted. A person can be picked for gang stalking just because they're a whistleblower, they witnessed something at the wrong time, and as a result of being gang stalked, they can then be used for multiple aspirations because it's protected by the government, literally. It's sick and it's sad and it's pathetic. It took me a long time to believe this because I had to exhaust the avenues that I ran to for help, and as a result of not getting help and then later seeing how they were used, I started believing what was already online concerning it. And I'm talking about newspapers, even some TV crews can be attached to gang stalking. And yeah, I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying sometimes that can be the case. David Lawson talked about that. He wrote a book about gang stalking. Okay, so what's happening towards me? Well, they pick, a person can be actually picked for human experimentation when they're a kid, and then they can be let go of, but they'll still be tracked. Since this is governmentally involved, because research is also, human experimentation is a big aspect of this. So the point I'm trying to make to you here is that a target may be picked as a child for one reason, and then they're just thrown to the wolves later on in life. But they're still kept track of. Organized crime that has this technology is directly attached to military personnel and directly attached to the federal government, who then trickles that technology also down to local crime groups, wealthy corporations. The wealthy can get a hold of it. Once you start researching gang stalking, find out what you need in reference to how they operate, which is described online. That's what I did. Now, it says it all over the internet that these people go after people on disability, they go after single women, single mothers, they go after minorities, they go after the elderly, and they can go after specific individuals who got power positions in the community. And that means in the power positions to intimidate property owners that might own an apartment building. They're capable of a lot of nasty stuff. Even blacklist targets. They are openly harassed and gang stalked along all their routes. The business community is notified. And this is a book right here called Closing the Gap. Okay, and it literally says it right on there. Gang stalking and community notifications. That proves literally right there, and plus it's all over the internet, like on the front of www.gangstalkingworld.com. What these individuals do, and they also have syndicated members within the business community. And what they do is they basically do nothing but harass the target everywhere they go to try and break them down mentally and psychologically. They also employ electronic harassment towards them on a daily basis. And they also use other technology, which is called remote neural monitoring, remote neural influencing, and remote neural stimulating, as well as other extreme technology that has extreme capabilities like you would not believe. Remote neural monitoring, they can literally piggyback on the frequency of any device, tape recorder, cell phone, this digital camera, and go in and edit or alter or delete anything that is stored in these devices so that the data cannot be scrutinized by the public, literally. And it literally states it, literally in the remote neural monitoring file. And gang stalking expeditions do not like public exposure because of who's involved in it. The police, the fire department, members of the district attorney's office that went down to the San Diego district attorney's office and told them I was a human trafficking target as a result of being a gang stalking target, and that there was an extreme likelihood that the San Diego police were involved with it. And 1.5 days later, not even 36 hours later, I was brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. And then they sent me a video that was totally 100% altered. That's already online as far as me taking a video of sections of the video that they sent me. So I took the CD-ROM out of the computer because they had literally sabotaged. While I was working on things over at the University of San Diego, I'd be like writing a post, and I'd have 10,000 words written, and they'd go in and totally shut down the whole page. And I go to bring it back up, and all the work's gone. That's why at times I have had to copy and paste my work while I'm in the middle of it to a Gmail account, and then go back and attempt to finish it because they were constantly shutting down my web pages while I'm in the middle of work. So what I'm trying to point, and a bunch of other stuff that they do over at the University of San Diego in reference to what I'm doing online. So when they seen that, I noticed that it was altered because I was putting the mouse cursor over the places that I were visually recognizing in the video as far as it being altered. They seen me moving the mouse around. I also had gang stalkers walking by my vicinity at the University of San Diego and acting like, damn, we got a problem now. You gotta understand what I'm talking about here. I deal with these people every single day, okay? And their goal is to purposely get around me to make me notice their harassment. So when they feel threatened about anything, they have because a lot of them they use are young kids who don't know how to not show their emotions. Literally, basically look up and basically see what their attitude is like for the day. And this is no lie. This is what gang stalkers do. They literally sit around you to observe what you're doing online, and also they're communicating with the host and director who is using the remote neural monitoring on me, literally. What they do with remote neural monitoring is they literally harass you concerning your evoked potentials. And if you don't believe me, type in remote neural monitoring at YouTube and listen, especially listen to the NYC Chronicle videos. He doesn't have the technical education in order to be able to thoroughly describe exactly what's being utilized towards her. But understand this and be clear, she does very well in describing what they're doing. She doesn't have the technical expertise to describe exactly how they're doing it, though. I do, because I took electronics in school, and I also studied the brain for over 4.5 years because of my learning disabilities. So when you look at the bioelectric aspects of the brain and how that is directly incorporated within the technology of remote neural monitoring, then you can understand that evoked potentials can be read in real time. And then the individuals who hold the remote neural monitor basically communicate with the gang stalkers on campus about when to do a certain thing to make me feel like I'm being harassed in reference to the evoked potentials that are being processed.
Are you being stalked, harassed, and your privacy violated? Has your work and personal life been sabotaged or ruined and you don't know why? Are you experiencing trouble with your phone, email, and internet services? Are you being denied help from governing and city officials? You are not alone.
As many as one person per 100 are being targeted in North America.
Same tactics get thrown on this list, and
technological and community-based harassment. Gang stalking or group stalking, groups of people stalking an individual.
street harassment.
This is exactly what is happening to me.
Gang stalking is alive in this country, and the politicians are denying that it exists.
There are literally thousands of websites providing information about these crimes.
Sites that explain the truth about what's going on.
These are many sites that you should go and check out. Go to gangstalkingworld.com, go to stopcovertwar.com, go to YouTube and check out Organized Stalking Informers.
Wake up!
All over the world, people are sick of being subjected to organized gang stalking. Across the globe, people are watching in communities and neighborhoods. People watching, people listening, people sharing information, people filming individuals and vehicles, documenting, exposing organized harassment activities. Organized gang stalking and community harassment is a crime. There is nothing lawful about organized gang stalking and community harassment. It doesn't matter who's doing it or what their profession may be. All across America, people have decided enough is enough. The targeted are now targeting. People have decided it's time to crack the whip on organized gang stalking and community harassment. We will be watching, recording, exposing, and punishing those involved. Do your part to destroy organized gang stalking today. For more information, visit Organized Stalking Informers on YouTube at www.youtube.com/OSINFORMERS.
And if you don't believe me, type in gang stalking and Gloria Naylor. She's a very good, I think there's a White-Eyed Cinema in reference to, she called up on some talk show interview, and she talked about how she was literally in her face harassed concerning something that she processed, which are thoughts, evoked potentials, and they literally harassed her within like a 2-hour period concerning what her evoked potentials were. Remote neural monitoring, you just have to look at it this way. Remote neural monitoring is not online for no reason. It's not technology that is there. It's literally there online for you to read for no reason. This technology exists, and the fact that the patents and everything, the patents of it, are not online for no reason. This is technology that literally exists. So this is what they do. They literally will harass a target based on anything a target does physically and their evoked potentials, because the whole goal is to make a target feel victimized and re-traumatized. And why do they do that? Because they want to break a target down so they can get custody of a target to take everything a target's got, and to brain and train them for prostitution. Is how they're into human trafficking. They get a hold of women and people on disability, and they try to entrain them for prostitution. And that's all done once they get them in isolated environments that they control through gang stalking and the syndicated individuals within the system. And that's all done by them getting power of attorney of the target once the target breaks down as a result of them being destitute, which is all created by them covertly, by them stealing the rent of a target, making them homeless, wrecking the target's vehicle by deliberately causing a vehicle accident. They did that to 2 of my cars. And this is all done to continue to break down a target because they make money off the effects of a target being broken down as a result of them being tortured. This is the true, literal, heinous nature of this crime. How do they make money? When a target breaks down that's on Social Security, what they do is they see they're breaking down because they're monitored constantly. Whether they're in a home, whether they're in a motel room, campsite, RV, car, anywhere, they're monitored. And as a result of the monitoring, what they're able to do in the stalking, they're able to literally ascertain if a target's breaking down, calling 911. And as a result, they're shipped off to a hospital because they're literally deliberately pipelined to a syndicated doctor who then works hand in hand with syndicated hospital administrative staff to bilk Medicare out of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars each and every time that a target breaks down. Now, the people that they're connected to have literally set up billing corporations. What they are is they're really nothing but fly-by-night places that are called billing services. And what they do is they are the controllers of their billing literally work hand in hand in the bilking of the Medicare. And all these thousands of dollars that are generated off a 7 to 10 to 21 hospital day stay, even more, funnel that money they end up getting from Medicare back into the hands of the people that participated in it, gang stalking and insurance fraud. This is one of the avenues they make money off of a target. The other avenue is to eventually contain the target by saying the target cannot take care of themselves as a result of the destitution they're in that they covertly create by stealing their rent check, intimidating landlords, bribing landlords to create the homelessness. Then they exploit the fact that the target's homeless by stating that the target cannot take care of themselves, because how I mentioned to you that they're shipped, when they break down, they're shipped to the hospital, that doctor will falsely diagnose them with a disorder. And that's done for 2 reasons: to make it look like the billing was done legally in reference to a diagnosis, and to discredit the target, because once those accumulated diagnoses are documented, they'll combine them, stage a big incident, and bring the target before a syndicated judge, and he'll sign over power of attorney to make the target a legal ward of the state. And then a syndicated individual, then once they get a hold of a target, with a syndicated power of attorney, they place them in a home where they're sexually abused and sexually entrained. And whatever is entrained in reference to, they use violence to tell a target that we're going to keep doing this to you until you give up sex. So then the target starts to think to themselves, okay, I got to cooperate, I'm going to get beat up, whatever. As a result of them thinking this and then cooperating, what is entrained neurally is identified and marked through remote neural monitoring and then stimulated on any date for any man they bring along that target's path in the home or in a place where they have activities that are mandatory that a target has to attend as a result of being in the home. And they stimulate that neural network that was entrained back in current time, and therefore that thinking is brought back in current time and acted out again. And here you have it, a literal sexual slave, and that's a result of the remote neural monitoring. The whole goal, literally, is to create nothing but a sexual slave, okay, to make money off that angle, to bilk the Medicare because they're constantly being put back in the hospital every 30 to 40 days through staged incidences that happen in the house, and then targets blamed on them. They are then told they have to go to the hospital to get on medication because they're out of control. and then that's all staged. Those incidences are scheduled on days to where the syndicated doctors are working, so they can then turn around and do the same thing again to the target, bilk Medicare out of thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's all kicked back to every single person that played a role in it. Ones that own syndicated homes, the fire department EMS personnel that are syndicated in it, the cops that are syndicated on their chain that will protect the syndicated home in case the target ever breaks away and calls 911, like runs to a neighbor or whatever. Through them seeing the target is literally leaving, they literally get on their phone and they'll call the syndicated police officer that are on duty that day, and literally prevent a target from ever escaping. And this is what's done. Torture for money. I'm learning disabled, and this is what's happening to me. I have to live this way every single day of my life because of this is going on towards me in San Diego. It's a nationwide syndicate. It's happening in literally every state. It's nothing but organized crime that is infested in the system and allowed by the system because of the organized crime that is literally infested within the system. They did the same thing to Connie Marshall. They took her grandchildren because they got taken from her, placed in a syndicated home, and each child that got taken from her, that syndicated home applied for federal funding per child. It's nothing but money and torture and illegal kidnapping for profit. So all you have to do is thoroughly research gang stalking. My name is Leslie Williams.